fresh out of the oven. You can hear that sizzle. All right, let's enjoy. That salami on the pizza is so good. Seriously, I don't know about you guys, but pizza has got to be one of the best foods. I like a lot of different foods though. Pizza's up there for me. King crab is probably by far my favorite. It is, oh, it's just so juicy. It's just so, you can eat it by itself and not have anything with it, and it would still be the best meal. The next is probably ribs. Oh, good ribs just fall off the bone. Good barbecue sauce. I'm talking about other foods as I eat pizza. But it's good pizza. I love my pizza a little bit crispier. Because when you get to the crust, it's like Christmas came early, you know? It's like in Ratatouille, when it's that scene when it's the female chef and she says, the way you can know good bread is by the sound of the crust. And she like squeezes it and then, oh, just that crunchy sound. Same thing with crust on a pizza, I think. I know that's probably a pretty controversial topic though. Because like Papa John's pizza, the crust isn't necessarily, or Costco pizza, the crust isn't necessarily, you know, crispy, but it's still good. When you have good artisan pizza though, that's where you feel like you have a bit more of a crust. It's crunchy. Seriously, if you haven't tried barbecue sauce on pizza, you should try it. Don't get me wrong, I'm a red sauce fan too. But barbecue sauce on pizza, oh my goodness. And if you are so daring, you should try some cayenne pepper. It's that friendly kick, you know? I honestly overloaded this with chicken, but it honestly still tastes pretty good. Oh my god. My word. Seriously, the thing I love about pizza is just it's so versatile. you know. I'm actually satisfied a little bit. You can eat it at any time. I mean, I have plenty of people that I know that love to eat it for breakfast. They love cold pizza, which I don't fully understand, but I mean, each to their own. But, like you could put anything on a pizza. Oh, actually, sorry. Actually, maybe not anything. But you could put so many different kinds of vegetables, you know, so many different meats, proteins, and it could just still taste so good. That's what I love about it. And it's such a social thing. Usually you order pizza if you're watching a game or if you're just hanging out with friends or family. I know I usually eat pizza a lot with family. Papa John's is our choice of pizza place. Their garlic sauce is by far the best that I've had. And then with the pepperoncinis, oh, you get the pepperoncinis. I always ask for extra. And oh my gosh, it's so good. You can probably hear the crunchy crust. I have like 6 more Christmases to go with the crust. I just love biting into it and just hearing that, you know, awesome sound. And jalapenos and pizza with red onion. It is so good. So freaking good. Like people, you know, when people say, where's your happy place? I'm like, anywhere with good food, you know? Also, Hawaii. That's definitely a happy place for me. Or Sydney, Australia, which is where I was born and raised. So, that's a no-brainer. Another interesting happy place for me, which many of my good friends know and family know, it's a happy place for me. But it's actually like an arcade game place, like a nickelcade. It's just such a fun time. Maybe it's because I've gone with my family a lot. Taking my nieces and nephews. So it's a good time. Plus, I don't know. I love games, like any sorts of games. I love sports games. My favorite game at the nickelcade is what we call the clown game in our family. But it's where there are clowns that are, you know, standing up. You have to knock them down with balls. I'm not the biggest fan of clowns. Sorry if you like clowns, but oh man, it's just so satisfying when you just get a ball and you just peg it at a clown and you just knock it right in the face. Obviously fake clowns, obviously toy clowns. Not real clowns. But that game is so fun. Another one I love is the basketball game, which I'm sure is a favorite for many people. But man, I've seen videos where people have one ball in each hand and it's just like a machine. And then they obviously get the high score. And I'm just like, how do you do that? Like, how are you so good? Like, just like every shot is like perfect. I have no idea. And someone might say, oh, they go pretty often. I'm like, I thought I went pretty often. Still pretty terrible at it, but. Now, some people might have a hard time with this, but this was a pre-made pizza. Pre-made, as in the sense where the cheese and the red sauce was already on it. So someone might be out there saying, oh my gosh, you can't put red sauce with barbecue sauce. You know, I would have thought the same thing like a few years ago, but actually, you'd be surprised. It doesn't clash too much. Well, that could just be me. That crunch at the end now never gets old. It's like Christmas in every bite. So honestly, one question that I'd love to ask is, what are some of your favorite foods? Because I'd be curious. There might be some pretty wild ones out there, which I probably haven't tried, which I'd love to try. I love trying new foods. And that, I mean, not to get too, I don't know what the word for it is, what the word for it is, but I don't know. Like, food is just something that everyone can connect on, which I think is awesome. And food is so unique to every country, to every culture, you know. Even looking at England to Australia, there are a lot of similarities, but I'm sure there are differences. Like, Australians eat kangaroo. I'm sure people in England don't eat much kangaroo. I would actually be very surprised if they did. But let me tell you now, kangaroo is not the best meat. As cute as they are muscly creatures. I mean, I'm sure everyone's seen it by now, but if you've seen the really buff kangaroos, they're called red kangaroos. They can go up to 2 meters tall, which I think is, roughly. I didn't fact check this, but roughly 2 meters tall, which is, I think, 6'6", 6'7"? You would think by now, living in America for quite a while, I'd be able to do immediate conversions, but I can't. Unfortunately. I'll be real. I thought I could get through this pizza way faster, but given the fact that I loaded it with chicken, all that goodness of jalapenos and red onions, each bite is taking me a while. No, look at that sauce. And speaking of Christmas, firstly, it's one of my favorite holidays, but secondly, to continue this analogy of the crust being like Christmas, the sauce is like that pretty ribbon, you know? Like, I rap awfully. Like, I can't rap to save my life. But You know when you get a Christmas present and it's like in like just really nice wrapping paper and it's got the prettiest ribbon that's tied so well and you're like, dang, that's mine. It just makes you feel so happy inside. Not that presence of itself should bring happiness. It's obviously the giver and just that feeling of family, of friends. But when you do get it with that ribbon tied so beautifully, you're like, So the source in this case is the ribbon. Excuse me. Except for ribbons, they actually have no value once you take it off. But the barbecue sauce, just complements so well. So it's funny. Sorry, excuse me. Big bite. A lot of my friends in America, they ask me, oh, what, different traditions or different holidays do you have in Australia? One notable holiday is Australia Day. Another one is actually right after Christmas. It's called Boxing Day, which I should really know the reason why it's called Boxing Day, but I actually don't. But in saying that, America has so many good holidays. Like, for example, Thanksgiving. Given that I love food so much, the fact that there's a holiday where you just sit around, maybe watch some football, maybe not, and you just eat good food. And then, especially when you eat good food early in the day, you take a nap, a really nice long nap, and you wake up and you have some leftovers. It's just, I should really look into who made that holiday, because that man or woman is an absolute genius. I kind of wonder what they were thinking, when they came up with the holiday. They're like, I love food and sleep, so let's make a holiday around that. No. I mean, I'm all for it. I'm thinking back to the different Thanksgivings that I've had. What was probably my favorite one? Honestly, it was probably Thanksgiving where we made ribs. I don't know if you've ever tried it, but there's the typical ribs. You cook it, slow cook it. You can either do a dry rub or you can put sauce on it. But wow, smoked ribs, it was like a totally different thing. You'd probably think, smoked ribs, how different can it be? It's just that smokiness when you take every bite. It's just, That was probably one of my favorite Thanksgivings. Oh, I love cayenne pepper and I love spice. But I'll be real, the older I've gotten, the more I feel it. And right now, my stomach is feeling it. Maybe it's not such a friendly kick. It's a friendly kick to the mouth, but not a friendly kick to the gut. Or other places. Ooh, no. That crunch makes everything better though. This is also a different style of pizza. So for example, with the Papa John's pizza, I'm not necessarily looking for that crunch. But this is a gluten-free pizza base. There's a reason for that. I eat gluten, but this is gluten-free. But yeah, the gluten-free, if you don't cook it thoroughly or if you don't cook it well, I don't know, it's just harder to eat. So with the gluten-free pizzas, I do prefer to overcook it a little bit. So this was probably a little crunchier than other pizzas that I've had, but I still love it. Especially, on the gluten-free pizza where, once I know, it's cooked well done, well done pizza. Then yeah, it's pretty enjoyable. I'll be honest. The funny thing is, I don't know if it's a jalapenos or cayenne that's hitting me more. It's honestly probably the cayenne, because I haven't been into a jalapeno that I thought was really spicy. But it's probably that combination, honestly. Like the fact that it's got cayenne on the jalapeno. It's just like a double kick. Like in wrestling where they drop kick you with both feet. Oh. Man. I was saying something about Thanksgiving, but I forgot. Don't you hate when that happens? Like you have a thought and then you forget it. Anyways. Other holidays, other American holidays that I love, Labor Day. Also, speaking of which, I have so much respect for people like, say, for example, nurses or other caregivers or providers that have to work on federal holidays. And it's just a plug, but man, like, it would be so hard to work on those federal holidays, and yet they do, and and they provide awesome service. So they are awesome people. But yeah, as I'm thinking about it, in Australia, we don't have a ton of public holidays. Which, I mean, I don't want to speak for all Aussies, but I don't know. They have such a carefree and laid back nature. Now, I don't know. They probably take their own holidays. So, oh, I love Australia. I love America too. I lived here for about 8 years. And gosh, it's been a great 8 years. When I speak to my friends back home though, they always laugh at me telling me that I'm losing my accent. Which is a little unfortunate, but the American accent is just fine. What's funny though is, to my friends I'm losing my accent. To Americans or other people, I have an accent. And it's just interesting. Because I've gone to some weird places of like where they think I'm from. The most outlandish was probably Singapore, Malaysia. I guess Singapore might make sense. Malaysia, I guess there are some similarities, but I thought it was quite interesting. I've gone to Britain a lot, and if there are any English people watching, they're probably like, oh yeah, it's definitely not. It's an awful accent. It's an awful accent. Sorry, hopefully that wasn't offensive to anyone. But I do feel like the British accent is probably one of the most commonly imitated accents. And I think for the best reason. Because I immediately think of Hermione Granger from Harry Potter. And I'm like, man, I wish I could talk like her. I mean, I'm sure every guy's thought about it, maybe not, but I think England would be an amazing place to visit. Oh. Just had a bit of a taste of it. Spicy jalapeno. It's because I left the seeds in. But I think one of the accents that, is, I've gotten it wrong quite often actually, is a South African. Because it sounds refined. It really has some words that can sound, pretty similar to other accents. But I don't know, I've asked several South Africans if they're from England, and I've always apologized after I get it wrong. But yeah, a lot of South Africans, all of the South Africans I've met are really nice people. Really down to earth. And that would be a place that I'd want to visit. That'd be another question that I'd love to read in the comments. Is what's the coolest place you have been to? Or where's the coolest place you want to go to? That'd be really awesome to kind of hear from you guys. Just because some people have lived such interesting lives. Interesting to the point where I'm like, dang, what have I done with my life, Take a long, hard look at myself in the mirror, and I'm just like, what are you doing with your life? But I have a friend that he travels so much. Every month on Facebook, it's like he's staying somewhere new, internationally. And you're just like, I have so much respect for you, He can work remotely, which is really nice. But damn, some of the places he's been to, wow. Looks incredible. One place that I'd love to go to is actually Bora Bora. That would be an incredible place to visit. And I've seen you see the photos of the fancy, bungalows. Oh, that would be so incredible to visit and to stay in. Gosh. I also love Tahitian people. I don't know. It'd be amazing. But yeah, I would love to hear the most interesting place you've been or where you want to go to. Given that I am just starting out, you know, I do want to make a goal of reading the comments, responding to the comments. And while I'm at that, I can share, like, with me wanting to start this, I was definitely inspired by several people. But one of the key reasons is, and I have it in my description, but I do enjoy making people laugh, so hopefully that's one thing. But secondly, like, I do want to bring an element or kind of some spark or level of joy to people. And I'm not saying, you know, I'm not saying necessarily that I can, but hopefully to those people that I, you know, that feel connected in some way, whether it's something that I say, something that I do, you know, that's the hope. Because, you know, again, not to get too, you know, like deep, but there's, I don't know, going through this life, it's like, it's hard. Like, you go through a lot of difficult things, and there are a lot of, you know, lots of trials that people go through. And sometimes, you know, it's just nice when you feel connected to another human being. It also feels nice if you can laugh and, I don't know, just enjoy life a bit. I think everyone in their life has had moments when they've really had difficult moments, difficult experiences. So that's kind of my goal in doing this. And then the other beautiful part about it is I love food. So, you know, hopefully combining the two, that's my hope, is that I can either eat really good food, cook really good food, share that with people, but also share, you know, my experiences, learn from other people's experiences, and to hear about them, you know, have that conversation, have that dialogue. That's kind of what I hope to do. So, you know, feel free to comment, please comment. Yeah. And obviously, if you like the content, please like and subscribe. I don't know necessarily experienced how much it helps, but I'm no doubt, you know, it does help because everyone says so. But that's the goal. And it's interesting too, because in people's videos in the mukbangs, they finish all their food. And again, just being real, I don't know if I can finish these last two pieces, but I will another day. So, I don't know if I'm gonna, I don't necessarily want to be eating huge amounts of food. I just want to be eating good food, or food that, you know, I enjoy. Or even if someone recommends, like if someone says, oh, I really love this food and I try it and I love it, like, then why not? Give that person a shout out too. Anyways, it's been awesome. Hopefully you think so too. And I will see you at the next video.